What's up, guys? It's your boy Dub Young, and I'm back for another video. So today we're gonna do What If Hinata Awakening Tenseigan Part 2. So in this video today, we're gonna leave off where we started, which was they was walking and they all was heading towards the Land of Waves with Team 8. Well, with Team 7. So pretty much Naruto, Kiba, and Hinata are on Team 8. Keep in mind, Team Kurenai. And Kiba, Sasuke, and Sakura on Team 7. Keep that in mind. So pretty much Team 8 and Team 7 pretty much come across the same puddle, as they would in the first part. And since, they all like have a bigger team, it'll be easier to take them down. So since Sasuke and Sakura be like themselves in the original, and Naruto and Hinata won't, so they both got a power amp from training together and being in sync with each other, along with Kiba pretty much being their team partner. They all be the ones to take down the demon twins that like Kakashi and and Sasuke like they were in the original. So of course they all devise a strategy where Kiba will distract the guys with Akamaru and try to do Fang over Fang, intentionally to distract them. And while he does Fang over Fang, Hinata will prepare to use like her new ability that she learned while training with Naruto. And Naruto doesn't really know which one she's talking about. Cause she was talking about anyone because she learned a few abilities while training with him, and so did he. And so Kurina, she will use her genjutsu prowess, like to distract him as well, while Hinata and Naruto be the final acts. So Kiba will use Fang or Fangs, like get their attention. Then when they call guard, Kurina put them in the genjutsu, like she used on Itachi, which actually works. And while she does that, Naruto pretty much tell Hinata to like go, and then she'll pretty much like use her 8 trigrams, 64 palms technique, which would well not 8 trigrams. I'm tripping. I meant to say her chakra point blocking technique, like she used like against like Neji used against her to shut down her chakra points. That's what I'm referring to. I forgot the name of that. But she used that new jutsu because she just recently learned how to perfect it to a faster rate, to where she's using faster and quickly. So she's able to like shut down all their chakra points while they're in the genjutsu. So when they get out of genjutsu, they will like literally be paralyzed chakra wise, so they couldn't use any of their chakra. And so they take down the demon twins, and they're both sealed away by Curran now, so they can collect the bounty since their team was the one who stopped them. So Kakashi, his team are surprised that these Genin are being as skilled at teamwork, and Kakashi knows that they should actually follow their example, actually work on their teamwork. Because at this point, Sasuke still doesn't like Sakura. Shino and Sasuke don't really like talk as much. They both are the more emo, quiet ones. So, but they do relate to each other. And they both emo and they both quiet. But other than that, they really don't talk as much. They both are very like passive, quiet people. So they get to the Land of Waves, and eventually they come across the opposite like they do in the original. Except this time, since there's a bigger team, he'll have to deal with two senseis instead of one, Kurenai Sensei and Kakashi Sensei. So Kakashi would still get caught in the water prison, but Kurenai will be able to fight off Zabuza. She's actually doing very well too. Like she's very going crazy hand to hand comeback with him. And while he's doing that, Kiba would try to hit him with Fang over Fang. Zaba would dodge. He misses, hit a tree, hurt his head, yada yada yada. And so while this happening, Sasuke just hates the fact that Naruto's team is actually doing better than his team, so he tries to intervene and try to help like Zabuza. But all he does is almost get Sakura killed in the process. So luckily, Shino managed to save her from getting sliced by the executioner's blade with his insects. And so Shino, while protecting Sakura, he also put more bugs around Zabuza's legs and mobilizing them. So Zabuza will use a water style jutsu to like free him from the bugs. But as he was distracted, Naruto would literally punch Zabuza, send him flying to the ground. And so Zabuza will get up and he'll continue to fight Naruto and Hinata, who's by his side. And so before he can land a blow on him and they land a blow on him, Kurenai gets in front of him, actually catches the blow, and then puts him in the genjutsu, which wraps him up in the genjutsu. And Hinata is able to shut down his chakra points. They're like mobilizing him. And so Kakashi, he was trying to use the Chidori to finish him off. But before he could, Haku intercepts and stops Kakashi. And then, Kurenai would then punch Haku and then take the fight to Haku. So Team 8 would face off against Haku along with, like, themselves pretty much. And Team 7 would take on Zabuza, who's putting the Genjutsu. But luckily he awakened from the Genjutsu, though, before Kakashi was able to, like, try to finish him off again with another Chidori, thanks to, Haku's interference. And so Haku was still put in the ice dimension, or whatever she called it, with her ice Kekai Genkai. And then Naruto, Hinata, and Kurenai, along with Kiba, would take on Haku, because pretty much at this point Kiba would have woken up from the attack to the tree. He could recover quickly, so he'll be alright. And so he'll still try to use Fang or Fang to destroy some of the mirrors, but he only was able to destroy two, considering the fact that he can't. He will hit the mirrors, and it kind of would hurt for him to break the mirrors because it's glass. Like that stuff hurts. And so since he realized that plan wasn't gonna work, that's when Hinata came to the point where she said she had to unveil her other technique. And so she pretty much does like because at this point like she was attacking them with the needles and stuff like she did in the original, and it was pretty much impaling like Kiba and Akamaru. So the only way she can protect them is if she used her other ability. So she uses 8 trigrams 64 palms. Finally, that's the ability she uses at this point, and she's able to to cut down on the needles so they none of them connect and hit any of them. So that's when Haku notices her Byakugan. She's actually frightened about the Byakugan. She knows that is just as much the Sharingan. So she pretty much knows she's defenseless against the Byakugan. She can pretty much sense where she's gonna be in any ice dimension, and she does. That's why Hinata is able to keep up with Haku out of all of them, and she's able to deflect her attacks and actually push attacks towards her, well towards him because Haku's a dude. Keep in mind, and so pretty much like Haku would sneak attack Kiba and stab him with more needles, thereby impaling him so much to the point where they thought he was gonna die. So this pisses off Naruto because even though Naruto kind of didn't like Kiba because of his advances towards Hinata, because at this point Naruto would kind of like start having an attraction towards Hinata due to the fact that Hinata with him hang out more and he'll discover his emotions. He'll kind of realize that the emotion he felt towards Hinata was indeed love. He will kind of have a little liking towards Hinata. So, but he will put that all to the side for Kiba though at this point because Kiba was still his teammate. So this does cause him to rage out and turn into like his two tail state. And keep in mind, in his two tail state, he couldn't really control it just yet, or for a long period of time at least. He controlled to a certain extent, but his one tail state, he's able to control perfectly. So with his two tail state, he's able to track down Haku and stop her in every track. And with the backup from Hinata, he's able to somewhat be coherent while he's in that form enough to where he can listen to where she's telling him to go. So eventually he catches up to Haku and actually hits her so hard, him so hard. I don't know, I keep saying her, him so hard it knocks him out the ice release dimension. And so Haku, taking heavy damage from the hit, is knocked down. So as Haku staggers to get up, Hinata would finish off Haku with 8 trigrams air palms, which does do significant damage to her. And so Hinata would actually blow a hole in Haku's chest with the air palm, which does indeed kill Haku. So Haku is dead, but gone. Haku rest in peace. And so while that's happening, Zabuza would then get hit by a fireball jutsu from Sasuke, and out getting hit by a fireball jutsu, Kakashi would come behind with a Chidori, impale Zabuza, and Zabuza dies. And so Team 7 and Team 8 took out both Zabuza and Haku, thereby eliminating the threats in the Land of Waves. And so Gato and his men would still come to the bridge where, but at this point, since Naruto was still kind of pissed at the fact that Kiba was attacked by Haku, and they was the ones that implored Zabuza and Haku pretty much, he pretty much take his anger out on Gato and his men along with, pretty much Kiba, since he had to deal with the fact he had hit his head twice. So him and Kiba go attack the rest of them using Fang over Fang and Kurama Chakra respectfully. They both take out Gato's men. And so Naruto will be known as the hero to that village, and the bridge is still named the Great Naruto Bridge, yada yada yada. And so they all would go home. So pretty much, and while walking home, Naruto says he's impressed with the new ability that she's learned. And he asks her what are her names of them again. And she says she learned her 8 trigrams air palm, 8 trigrams 64 palms. And she goes to explain those different techniques and whatnot. She said she working on more techniques to advance her jutsus ranges and advance her chakra and all that stuff, and even try to do something with her nature infinities. And so Naruto asks her about nature infinities, and she pretty much explains what nature infinity is, which is every shinobi that has one, yada yada, all this stuff that he will learn to Shippuden. And so Naruto said he want to learn his, and he says that they can definitely learn that when they get back. And so her and Naruto pretty much hold hands, continue the journey while Kiba was red hot and kind of pissed. And so this will pretty much end off part 2. If you guys liked it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace.